Imagine if you were an actor, and that's what you went to school for. Maybe you majored in drama at New York University, and then you took acting classes. And as an actor, you could sing a little. You know, you were in some play. You could sing a little. And yet you were winning Grammys every year. What? He's an actor. That's why I've always said Jamie Foxx is the most talented person in Hollywood. He's a comedian who can act and sing and dance. It's like his third pitch is better than most people's first pitch. Like, that's amazing, right? Like an actor who could sing, and a lot of actors can sing. They're not winning Grammys. Like, that's what LeBron James is. Today, everybody's going to want to talk about LeBron James. Last night became the youngest player ever with 30,000 career points. He's not really a scorer. That's not really his thing. Michael Jordan and Kobe are scorers. Wilt was a scorer. Points with LeBron are almost incidental. They come after a steal. He's leading a fast break. He's a freight train. You can't stop him. I've always said, LeBron's the greatest overall basketball player I've ever seen. He's the great Swiss Army knife. He can do anything. Think about this. The greatest point guard in league history is Magic Johnson, and it's not really close. Isaiah Thomas, John Stockton, it's not really close. Magic's the greatest point guard of all time. LeBron's going to beat him in assists. He's going to beat Magic in assists. Now, think about that. Magic is the greatest point guard ever, always had the ball in his hands. When he came into the league, he inherited the best scorer ever, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He had Keith Wilkes. Later, he had James Worthy. He had great shooters, came into the league, a Norm Nixon, a Byron Scott. Magic Johnson played for the best team and had a multitude of scorers, so his great passes would land in a great scorer's hand, and he would get an assist. LeBron's first 7 years in the league, he didn't have a go-to number two, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, and he's going to beat Magic in assists. And by the way, the best number twos he's ever had, Dwayne Wade, not really a great shooter, and Kyrie Irving, who left him. I mean, that's amazing. Everybody wants to talk points today. LeBron James is the actor who can sing and ends up beating all the singers in the Grammys. In three-pointers, he's not even really a shooter. He's going to finish top 15 ever. Steals, he's going to beat guards like Iverson, Isaiah, and Kobe. Durability, MJ missed a year. Kobe, Bird, Shaq, KD, Steph, hurt. He's never had a major injury. He takes nights off out of fatigue or just wants to. But he's played 86% of regular season games. He averages 39 minutes a night and 42 minutes in playoff games. 15 years, he's never had an injury. I mean, that's absurd. Here's the best way I can put it. You're seeing something you've never seen. Imagine if Tom Brady was as fast as Michael Vick and as big as Ben Roethlisberger. That's what LeBron is. What if Brady was as big as Big Ben and as accurate as Tom and could run like Russell Wilson, run like Michael Vick? That's LeBron. He's going to beat Magic in assists. In his first 7 years in the league, he was passing to Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Magic had Jabbar, Wilkes, Worthy, Byron Scott, Norm Nixon. I mean, that is unbelievable. Steve Kerr was once laughing about all these comparisons because, you know, all the old-timers talk about the good old days. Remember what Steve Kerr said one time? And he was just kind of rolling his eyes at, you know, the people that are always like, oh, it was better in my day. And you know, back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, everybody was tougher. And Steve Kerr said, you know, that's actually very funny. Steve Kerr here talking about his stars, LeBron, and the current NBA players.
As time goes on,
it's horrible to watch, right?
Players are less talented than they used to be. The guys in the 50s would have destroyed everybody. It's weird how human evolution is sort of like goes in reverse in sports. You know, players get weaker, smaller, less skilled. I can't explain it.
Of course nobody can. He was being sarcastic. Folks, in the 1920s, you ever seen footage of boxers? This is how they fought. Stop looking in the rearview mirror. Fighters today are better. Bob Cousy was the best point guard in the 50s, 60s. He couldn't dribble with his left hand. He once had a commercial for cigarettes. You ever seen the Four Horsemen, Notre Dame's backfield? They don't start from modern day here in California high school football. You've never seen anything like this. People want to talk points today. He's going to beat Magic in assists. If you're an actor and you're winning Grammys, like, you're just at a different level than everybody else. LeBron, 30,000 points, youngest player to do it. I'm just going to give you the floor for 90 seconds. Let's bask in the glory of the Swiss Army knife in basketball. What do you make of it?
Here's what I make of LeBron, and it's a good moment to reflect on it. Because, yeah, he's the youngest to ever hit 30,000. He's the youngest to hit every single 1,000-point plateau in NBA history. The youngest to score 1,000 points, LeBron James. The youngest to score 19,000 points, LeBron James. And now the youngest to score 30,000. He's the only member of the 30,000, 7,000, 7,000 club, points, rebounds, assists. And here in a couple months, he's going to become the only member of the 30,000, 8,000, 8,000 club. But that's not the most remarkable thing about LeBron James. The fact that he's the most efficient scorer in NBA history when that's not his best trait is not the most remarkable thing about LeBron James. The fact that he's going to go to his 8th straight finals this year, that's not the most remarkable thing about LeBron James. The most remarkable thing about LeBron James is this. He became famous when he was 15. He has no dad. His mom has had issues. He's been in the public eye for nearly 20 years. He was the single most hyped prep athlete ever.
Yeah.
And he has exceeded the hype. The most hyped athlete ever exceeded the hype. The child star that not only never had a meltdown, but never had one single run-in with the law. The child star whose biggest public misstep raised $4 million for charity. The most hyped player of all time who exceeds all the hype, and who 15 years in is having one of the best years individually of his career. So people can dislike some of his social media postings. People can say, oh, he's not the best GM in the world. What he is the greatest team sport athlete we've ever seen in this country. And he continues to set new standards for the next generation of great athletes, standards that I don't know if anyone's ever going to be able to reach.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.